What is up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Kingdoms and Castles, where we are finally building our castles and our little kingdom. Once we get up to 20 gold, I'm going to start putting little turrets around here and there just to protect us from the enemy as they try to come in and mess with us. I mean, it's perfectly capable of just, like, lining everything with turrets if you really, really want to. Our town and our castle are strong enough at this point. You know what? I'm just going to use the natural stone in order to get this done. I really sincerely am. I'm going to use the stone, but yeah, if you haven't seen this game before, fun little title, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. If you're a fan of anything like Banished, or like Life is Feudal Forest Village, or anything like that, this might be the kind of title that you'll find yourself getting into. Might be that kind of title. Wood supplies are looking pretty good. I might build myself a stockpile right here, unless I can do a bigger one. Can I do a bigger one that's going to cost me stone to do the big... Oh, that's a big-ass stockpile. I don't need a stockpile on that scale. I just want to keep it so that my foresters don't have to run all over the boonies in order to get things done. So we are using earthen defenses to make sure that nobody attacks us. That's going to backfire on us later on in the game when the enemy gets a lot more concentrated in their assaults. But for right now, it gets the job done and it saves us a heap of stone. And so since I'm in the business of saving as much as possible as we go forward. Our next harvest is coming in. It looks like our food supplies are going to be okay for the next little bit. Nobody is idle at the moment because everybody is ferrying food all over the place. That's very, very nice. I'm going to speed the game up just ever so slightly to say that I did. We have 26 gold, so I'm going to suggest we put in our first Archer's Tower. Well, we've got time. Let's build these castle blocks up slightly so that they're a little bit higher off the ground. They got a few more HP by which to protect us, because when the ogres and the siege engines come, they're going to be dishing out a pretty, well, unhealthy. I was going to say a healthy dose of ass whooping, but it's not a healthy dose. It's a very unhealthy dose that we're going to be soaking. We have stuff over here that we can do as well. I would suggest that we consider the possibility of a second granary. Actually, we've got space right there, so I'm largely okay with it. We'll put another orchard in right there next to the other granary just to even out our food supply, because it is looking a little bit low this year, and you kind of want to get ahead of that if you can. With our castle construction, keep that going right there. I'm not going to focus on anything fancy like gates or anything of that nature because they're expensive and I can't afford to build them. So why bother? You know what I mean? We're going to keep things simple for right now. That's always the big method in life, is keep it simple, stupid, and I'm sure things will be 100% okay. Food is refilling for the winter. That's always nice to see. Don't know how much of that harvest is actually going to go to waste and how much of it is going to be utilized. But once our gold gets up to about 100 to 120, I'll turn off taxes so that immigration goes back up. I don't even know if they have a way to build this right here. They would have to build it from the outside, and hopefully they don't end up getting trapped inside locations. They want to drop off a little bit more stone in order to get that prepared. Justin Bailey apparently has bad teeth. Mary, she likes the sound of the rain. I do too. It's raining outside right now as I'm recording this episode. It's coming down. I felt really, really bad because I started a stream because I didn't realize that it was going to rain today. I had no idea that it was actively going to rain today. So I started a stream off and my dog was in the backyard in the rain for a little while and I felt like an asshole. I just felt absolutely terrible by the time I figured it out. Hopefully they can glitch through walls or something like that, and that'll allow them to stay safe. Now that we've got that, we want to put in our first couple Archer's Towers right there. There's the first two. And utilizing the stone that we currently have, I'm going to put in a couple of blocks right there just to protect us along that side. And I want to give us enough space to build our walls out this way too. So this is going to go out probably almost to the ocean, then loop up this way. I need to figure out a channel for my walls here. It'll probably be along something like this right here. And so, in a nice linear fashion, let's get that chopped. Hopefully I kept that in a straight line. In fact, it's always good to check it. So what you'll find is I've taken a little bit of time here, and I've actually got the city planning done. We are carving that channel that was kind of on the back end of what I was talking about there. I was saying I was going to carve a channel through the forest so that we had a nice thick wall running around us, and construction is underway. I'm pretty happy with the productivity of our farms and our food. Now we just sort of want to keep our heads down and hope that Vikings don't come along and ruin everything for us. We do have a bit of a housing problem, but seeing as our food is at a bit of an equilibrium right now, where we're producing almost exactly as much as we're consuming, I'm okay with that. I don't feel the need to mess with the system right now. In fact, I'd be totally fine with... Oh, Viking Invasion here. And so this time, they're coming back through with just one longboat. And I bet they'll land over here somewhere. They're probably going to come up this channel. And they're probably going to land on this side somewhere. And so they are going to get to burn some stuff down. They're going to take the quickest route, so maybe that's through the front gate. Maybe we'll be safe this time around. I don't know. Let's wait and watch and observe. Oh, really? They're making berth right there. Well, then there's a good chance they'll try to come through the front gate then. I don't know what their pathfinding's looking like, but it might work out for us. Towers don't have amazingly large range, but they do have some range. Oh, it looks like they're hooking left. Are they? Oh, they are. Absolutely. Oh, they recalculated. There we go. And so as you can see, our arrow towers are going to put some rounds on them. I don't think they're going to make it through the front gate. Yeah, they're all dead and knocked out right now. And so they're going to retreat back to their boats. And handshakes for everyone. A great sigh of glee goes out throughout the land as we have defeated the Viking menace because they were mean to us and we don't like them very much. I think I'm going to need to run a road up this way to get us some more building space. And so that is what I'm going to do. It's going to be kind of like an ugly little weavy road that goes this way. But I don't think I have much of an option because I got to expand my zone of control. We just don't control enough stuff right now. Alternatively, there are other things we can add onto our castle at the moment. A few more towers full of pokey pain for our enemies. I would also consider upgrading this block right here and that block right there so that they're a little bit taller. And then we've got more than enough stone, more than enough gold. Let's keep this wall project going. I'm going to rotate that around on that side. And if we can connect that to right there, that's what we're aiming for right now. That's going to be the project of the day. Food appears to be, once we have a surplus, that's when I'm going to expand out and get more people. But until I know that we have like a tangible food surplus, not going to mess with adding more people to our society just yet because that's a recipe for heartache. From my observations, I think it's just about perfect right now with regards to our production. So instead of really being, or I guess being terrified about the, oh, I have a well right there. Oh, good. Well, then for our economy, I command you all to put in a few more farms. And it looks like we have space right there. I'm going to turn that into a granary space. I'm going to turn that into a granary space so that they have a place to take all that food they're going to be farming very soon. Good. Awesome. Things are looking great. The next thing that I want to build is more arrow towers. One right there and one right there. I will consider one for right there as well, although I doubt that we're going to get hit from that direction in the near future. Instead, the walls are looking solid. Like, I think we have a good gameplay going right now. And honestly, I'm really glad I took a couple hours to learn the game before I started playing because I just didn't want to look stupid on the internet. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I just didn't want to look dumb on the internet. Just really was not feeling the looking stupid on the internet thing. And I would prefer to just not have that be a thing right now. Yeah, food's basically just barely topping off at the moment, so now would be the time that we want to build hovels now that we've put in a few new farms. I'm going to put one facing that way. And actually, let's go back to normal speed for now while I do my little constructy business here. More hovels right there. The granary is kind of far, but I could put in more farms on this side. That's going to depend on how many people I have, though, moving in. So, with this road right here, get that moving so that my zone of control is better, too. So there it is. We'll loop that back around that way just to say that we have a road that runs the entire kingdom. And I'm happy with things. I don't like orderly building in my games. I don't. I like it to look like a real city does, where it just kind of expands out and you live with what you get. Let's get the rest of our castles sealed off, too. And that's looking just magnificent right there. Absolutely great. I'm going to consider that every 3 spaces, we're going to drop a larger tower. That tower is going to be the container for our arrow towers once we start getting them going. But they got a lot of construction to do right now. They've got a lot of construction to do. So let me go ahead and I'm going to fast forward for a little bit while they get that sorted out, and you can just see the final result. All right, well, I was in the middle of construction, but we ended up with a Viking Invasion coming in, and this one's actually going to be a humdinger. Luckily, we are really well defended right now, so I'm interested to see how well they're going to be able to actually poke into our territory. We're looking really, really solid at the moment, and so I don't think this Ogre Assault is going to matter at all. We got Ogres coming in, they've got Lairs, and we plan on peeling those back to find out just what they mean by that. Just what they mean. The Ogres are going to be an arrow soak, and they do travel a little bit slower than the advance force, so hopefully our towers will be done with the advance force by the time the Ogre gets there. Let's go ahead and get up in here. Alright, Ogre, what you got for me? What you brangin'? What you slangin'? He's going to want to destroy something, I know it. How come those towers right there aren't firing? That's a concerning predicament. Maybe they're built too high? Seems possible. We just lost our stone production, though, so we're going to want to keep an eye on that as well. The Vikings actually did a pretty good job on that run. So we may want to think about the way that we've got these towers built. There we go. Now we got angles again. Keep working on him. He'll destroy roads if he's got nothing else to kill. So keep that in mind, too. They do soak a lot of hits, though. For all intents and purposes, they are siege engines, and they will just sit there and soak damage until they've destroyed X amount of buildings, and then at that point, they will choose to leave. With our quarries, let's get those back up and running. A little bit unfortunate there. I was hoping we get some vengeance on that side. There we go. We killed them off. So we did get some vengeance. However, our food supply is going to suffer. The food supply is going to suffer because they don't harvest when there's like attacks and stuff coming in, so watch out for that. We're going to demolish that right there. And all things considered, we actually came out of that in okay shape. I'm not going to cry about it, but I am going to keep those walls low this time around because I think I just saw a fundamental flaw in our defensive strategy. We're out of stone for right now. Not going to be getting stone back anytime soon. So, let's wait for all of our stoneworking stuff to get rebuilt, and then we'll start worrying about some of the other tasks that need to be done. Food is out. They are back in business, moving everything to the granary and trying to keep us topped off on all of our lovely victuals. I don't know if you've tried out some of the restaurants in this area, but they are pretty good. They're not bad. They've actually taken the usage of cumin and general field herbs, and they've turned it into artwork. We are still raising taxes. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for right now so that happiness stays a little bit higher. We should see like an instantaneous recovery and our happiness from all the stuff going on. Chop those trees for me. I think that's the reason why this construction's not getting done. So we'll set up some manual chopping right there. These guys are still foresting, which is great. We've got 464 wood sticking around. And in fact, that's enough to where I will turn off one of these buildings. That's right. You can turn off buildings just by clicking on them. Just by clicking on them. You go through there, you click on that little door, and they should shut down their business for now. We aren't going to have a whole lot of room for expansion as far as our little grouping goes. But I will consider, I'm going to expand slowly, and we're going to go with little houses for right now. Is that the front of the building right there? It is. Okay. I've got like a very real way that I like everything to be spaced when I build stuff. And so I'm trying to keep it to that criteria. Over here, we're just going to do row housing. Just row housing. Got plenty of wood to play around with. Do we have anything that costs a bunch of wood? Yeah, charcoal maker sounds good. Go ahead and get me some charcoal makers over here. That'll make people happier by supplying them with firewood and things of that nature. So I'll go with a charcoal maker right there, a charcoal maker right there. And as soon as stone is back up and functioning, which I don't know if it will be anytime soon because they're still constructing things over here. It actually looks like we got a couple of civilians who are stuck because wood is at such a ridiculous high. I'm going to turn off all wood production for right now. That'll free up a couple of villagers to do other things, like construct buildings and keep things moving along. Are they actively doing anything over here? Go ahead and demolish that so that it frees them up. I think they're stuck right now. And in fact, let's not do the charcoal makers right now because I think we have a workforce problem, and I want to stay away from that. People had to be turned away because there weren't enough homes, but we've got homes going up right now. Those homes that face the wall. Is that good? In medieval society, do you want your house built into, like, the defensive wall, or do you not want it built into the defensive wall? I'm not quite sure, but I know one thing. We really dropping more reallys on you, because that's how we do here at the Nerd Castle. I'm aware of it now. You guys messed up. I'm going to be dropping it all day, every day on top of you. 7 new villagers coming in, so we're going to want to watch food there. That was a big influx that we just took. However, that should get some of our stalled projects back up and running, and we should have another Viking attack coming in soon as well. Hate to bum you out, but it's probably coming. I would say that we should probably check for whatever. Chamber of War takes 75 stone. When we get the Chamber of War, that's going to give us access to ballistas, which will help us clear out those ogres a little bit more effectively. Probably put one right there. Probably put on some of the lower areas on the walls, just so we got something firing that's going to be helping us out. It looks like stone production is back up and functioning again. So archer towers. Let me have some of that lovely archerly goodness, please. Because we don't know what they're going to hit us with next. It could be good. It could be bad. And I'm going to leave the rest of our stone. We're going to let that tick upwards. I am going to go ahead and raise the tax rate very quickly so that we're getting cash again, getting that guap, that gouda, that cheddar, that change, that good shit that we stack up so that we can swim through it like Scrooge McDuck. Ain't nobody know the kind of cash that we got. Ain't nobody got cash like I got. Ain't nobody got cash like I want. Keep my cash in a big old knot. Look at this cash that I stacked and got. Oh yeah, I'm fraught with cash. It's a song I'm working on. It's called Fraught with Cash, parentheses, Gouda. I don't know why. I still entertain myself somehow. It's still funny to me. It looks like we are net positive on food right now. They started a harvest where we still had about 50 food left. So that's great. That means we still have immigration capacity. We still have the ability to take on more mouths. I will consider adding a quarry over here once we have a few more people who are idle. I will think about it because having stone production seems like it's going to make our lives a lot easier. I think we probably blocked our line of sight right there with these towers. Building those up a little bit higher would probably be a smarter way to get our business done. That's what I think. But I'm waiting for the House of War right now, unless they storm in through the back, which they've done before. It's happened. Vikings are indeed invading. Which way are they going to come from? Ooh, they came with the heat this time around. They came pretty unhappy. Pretty unhappy and ready to mess with us. I'm going to turn off taxes for right now because getting attacked in between being taxed into oblivion is probably more than they're going to want to deal with. My hope is that these guys will sit down at least somewhere where we can kill off some of the advance force. And I think they did. So that looks like they're going to attack from that side. They're going to wait to amass, and they're going to come right at us. But on the plus side, we are building up and getting ready for... I'm not going to build it yet. Yeah, I'm not going to build it yet. Yeah, kill him, get him, got him good. I'm also going to add a well down here. Now that I know the principal location from which I'm going to get attacked from, I'm definitely going to try and focus on getting a well down here so that they can get to it a little bit quicker. It looks like they got one of the quarries put out, but they couldn't quite get to the other one. This ogre over here is doing a straight number to us. He's making us hurt, making us feel the pain. Oh, we got him. Very nice. Not an unsuccessful defense. Not an unsuccessful defense. I'll take it. Considering how terribly some of my runs have gone, I will 100% take it. Did they fix that at any point, or are they just going to let that get hit? That's my other question, is how does that work? We're kind of outside my area of expertise right now because we've been successful, and I don't have a long history of being successful when I play games on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. Drop that right there. Looks great. Build the castle up a little bit further. Let's see how awesome this thing gets. It doesn't get any built-in towers, though. One thing I'd like to see is as it gets bigger and taller, add some free archers towers to it and stuff like that so that it gets defended. I don't know if I should bulldoze this or not, or if they'll just get on it and repair it. It doesn't look like there's any repairing happening right now. So who knows? My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Kingdoms and Castles. I will see you all in future episodes. It's been a blast having you here today. It's always fun to play games that I'm passionate about, these cool indie projects that start to come out. That's why I got into this business, and that's what I like doing, is showing off these games so that you can know what to look for. I will see you all in the next episode. We are definitely doing at least 4 to 5 of these. I will see you all when next we meet. Bye-bye, everybody.